Rules of the Road, Chapter 20. Caring about people is the greatest secret of success I know. Harry Bender was sprinkling Johnson & Johnson baby powder on his thick, hairy hands, rubbing them together like a surgeon scrubbing up for an operation. We were standing in the back room of Gladstone's, surrounded by shoeboxes. I had asked him if he could give me some pointers, and I was taking everything in. Folks might not like my face, or the way I dress, or what I'm selling, but they can't deny I care about them. He looked at me with my sparkling new fashion essence. Texas seems to be agreeing with you. I grinned and followed him onto the floor. We were off, and Harry Bender was everywhere, listening. To a woman who had weak ankles, to a little girl who needed to beat her brother running, to a man who loved saddle shoes. "Have you seen these?" Harry asked, holding up tan calf skins with a brown saddle. The man's eyes got soft. "You can see when it's a passion." Harry just let him stand in the presence of the shoes. Finally, the man whispered, 12 medium. Minutes later, he had them on his feet. And Harry said quietly, "My guess is you're not going to want to be taking them off." "You guessed right," the man replied. Regulars came in with their visiting grandchildren. Mothers brought babies who were ready for their first pair of shoes, and Harry Bender found their buttons. He didn't push, didn't get frustrated. He could tell when people needed him and when to back away. They could tell he cared, the way a class knows a teacher cares about her subject. Too many people try to fake their way through life. That's why the real ones shine so brightly. When a woman came in apologizing for the battered-up shoes she was wearing, Harry looked at those disgusting things and said, "Those have been good friends." When an older man came in looking sad, Harry said to him, "How's the world treating you today, my friend?" And that man almost broke down because his wife had died last month, and she always came with him to pick out his shoes. It's the little things, not just in selling, but in life, that make the difference. The small moments when you can touch another person. Harry Bender was always looking for them, and he found more than any person I'd ever met. I was walking back to the parking garage when I heard the music. Hand-clapping country music, the kind that makes you want to get up and dance and make a fool of yourself. If, that is, a person was a dancer, which, trust me, I'm not. I walked toward the sound at the end of the mall. A stage was set up and a band was playing, and people in Western hats were dancing in a line. I stood on the sidelines to watch, tapping my foot, looking down at my new belt and my green checked shirt, feeling pretty close to perfect. "All right now," said one of the musicians on the stage, "grab a partner for the Texas two-step." I folded my arms and leaned against a wall when a male hand reached out, grabbed my hand, and started leading me to the dance floor. He was really tall and had blonde hair and nice brown eyes and was wearing a big brown cowboy hat. "Come on," he said, grinning. "I've been watching you. You need to dance." He'd been watching me? No, I don't dance. Everybody dances in Texas. I'm from Chicago, though, and, well, you can't help where you're from, but you don't have to let it limit you. We were on the dance floor now. "What's your name?" he asked. Jenna, but... "Pleased to meet you, Jenna. My name's Will. Now all you have to do is follow me, and remember, step together, step, touch." He showed me the patterns with his feet. I won't remember this. He showed me again. I tried, messed up. He showed me again. My heart was thumping bad. I knew I was going to blow this, and I wanted to sit down. Will took his left hand and grabbed my right one. Then he put his right hand around my waist, and I realized that Mom had been right. Social dancing skills were always appreciated later in life. I'd never been this close to a younger person of the opposite gender. I gulped. The music started. "Step together, step, touch," Will said. I did sort of. Now just do another step, touch, and then repeat. I tripped, but he didn't mind, and after I got used to being this close to a male that I'd never met, after I got used to being this close to a male I'd never met, after I got used to the steps and going counterclockwise, after my breathing had slowed down, and my face stopped blushing, I got it. Step together, step, touch. Step, touch. You got it, Will said, going wide to cover more of the dance floor, which I hadn't expected, but I'm here to tell you it was a miracle in the making. I stayed with him. I was dancing. Will was saying how I was a fast study, and I was laughing as we two-stepped around the dance floor. We danced 2 dances, and I only tripped twice, and when his friends came up to us and said they had to go, Will said it had been a pleasure to dance with such a pretty young woman and wished me well in Chicago. Then he tipped his cowboy hat in a show of respect for my beauty, and he and his friend were gone. I leaned against the store window and watched him go. Part of me wished he had stayed, but more important than that was the gift that he gave me. I looked at myself in the store window and smiled, and there I thought to myself, for the first time ever, is a pretty young woman.